Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Short Tales from the DoorDash Road. Guys, my March the 8th dash started about as horribly as a dash could possibly start. I mean, this was a disaster. Okay, so I logged in. It was probably sometime around 4:30 in the morning. Had a couple low ball declines, and then I didn't take an order until you see here 5:16, and even this one isn't really very good. 750 6 mile Tim Hortons, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it just to kind of get out and get started. Of course, I did posted a video a while back. This was the day one of my 7 day challenge where I do if I get 20 deliveries in 7 days, I get an extra $200. So I needed to get started this morning and get my first order in. Okay, so I head to the Tim Hortons and walk inside the store, the double doors, and as soon as I step foot inside the store, the staff member starts, griping at me. Oh, hey, no, we're not open yet. No, sorry, no, the lobby doesn't open until 6 o'clock. And like getting all aggressive with me, I'm thinking to myself, well, I didn't say anything, but like, why are the doors open? Why, why didn't you lock the doors? And then I asked, so what do you want me to do? You want me to get back in my car and go through the drive-through then? Because the drive-through was open and there was cars going through it. And she's like, well, no, that order, DoorDash order isn't going to be ready until at least another 15 minutes. And so I just kind of rolled my eyes and walked out and I'm not waiting 15 minutes for this crappy order. So I did a next screenshot here. I did a 10-minute drop. So it kind of seems to me that they probably were not planning on starting that order until close to 6 o'clock when the lobby opened. So it's kind of like, why did it come across my screen at 5:16? If this is, see, that's the only like bad thing about, there's pros and cons of doing early morning or like overnight orders. There's pros and cons to it. The big pro that I like is, there's obviously the biggest pro, there's not much traffic on the road. That's the biggest thing that's nice about it. But the biggest con is you have problems with these different stores, and are they closed? Are they not closed? In this case, the Tim Hortons was open, but it didn't seem like they were going to start preparing the order until 6 o'clock. And it's funny because all of these restaurants, it's my understanding, they can set their times whenever they want to accept orders or not accept them or whatever. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that could be done manually at all these different restaurants. So set it at 6 o'clock. Don't set it at 5 o'clock and have your system accept orders and then dashers get there. No, we're not going to do the order until 6 o'clock. Yeah, anyway, but it gets even worse than this. Okay, so let's close these out. Then I'm still sitting there in the Tim Hortons parking lot, and I get another kind of, another raunchy order, but it's still early, 550 for 6 miles Speedway. It's, a bad order, but I need to, again, I need to get my first order. Need to get some kind of delivery here and get rolling here and get started. Now, I've already been waiting over an hour. So I took this one. Okay, I get the, and the key thing is here the 5.9 miles. Okay, remember that. I get to Speedway, no problems at all. The order was ready. I pick it up, get back out to the car, hit, open up the in-app navigation, and this is what I see. 13 minutes, 9.4 miles. So, wait a minute. No, it's supposed to be 5.9, and there's no way I'm taking a Speedway order that's 550 for 9.5 miles. I'm not doing it. Okay. So this is the first time I've ever, I've been dashing for over 2 years now. This very first time I've ever ran into a situation like this. I've never had this happen. And this is not like an address change situation. So the offer was telling me that with that address, it was 5.9 miles. Okay, and for the same address, now it's saying 9.5. So I get on the phone with DoorDash support. I don't even leave the Speedway parking lot. Okay, so long story short on that phone call, I'm probably sitting there like at least a good 5 minutes, trying to figure this out. The agent looks up the order and pulls up maps and everything. And okay, so I'm on that Speedway is located on Route 62 in my zone. So the 5.9 miles is if you're taking a direct shot on 62 to Broad Street, where the customer is near that intersection. Okay, the 9.4 miles is the other routes to take to get there, where you're on an interstate pretty much the whole way, and you got to go around the outer belt to get to the customer. So the agent had me open other navigations to find the short route, and I opened up Apple Maps. There was 3 different routes to choose from. All of them were 9-mile plus. And then I opened my Google map, and I think the second route I checked on there was the 5.9 mile route. And so I told the agent, okay, I found it, and and then I took the direct shot to the customer, and we've fixed the issue. And I asked the agent, what was the delivery time on this order? He's like, 5:45. What time do you have right now? I was like, it's 5:55. And he was like, well, you're okay. You're not going to get in trouble for a late delivery. This order was passed around by a few I wonder why it was passed around. But it was passed around to a few dashers before it got to you, and that's all been accounted for and everything. There won't be any late penalty. I'm like, okay. So I make my way to the customer. Okay. So here's the instructions. So I guess I'm going to a gated apartment, and it says, once at the gate, let the security guard and the cruiser know that you have a DoorDash, and he will open the gate for you. Okay. Sounds pretty simple enough. Until I get to the location, and do you see any security guard whatsoever? That's my car at the gate, and I step back a ways to take this picture. I don't see a cruiser anywhere to be found. Do you guys see anything outside of that gate? I messed up a little bit. This picture right here, in my chat to the customer, I should have included, because the customer was unresponsive. I immediately tried to call and it just immediately disconnected. So the customer must have had the phone calls shut off. And then I sent in-app text messages, no response on those. I'll show that here in a second. But I should have sent this picture in along with the chat messages as well, so that DoorDash would have a copy of it and see it in the communication. But I didn't even, for some reason, I didn't even think to do that, and it wasn't included in the chat, which is right here. This first one, that I am here, I didn't type that. That was just the suggested message that you can click on. So I clicked on that, and then immediately I typed the next one. I don't see anybody here to let me inside the gate. And you see, I waited 3 minutes, and then took this screenshot to get those timestamps there. And there's my proof right there that I sent those messages, waited the 3 minutes, no response from the customer. And then, so guys, this is all I can do right here, is just I left the order outside the gate. So can't call the customer. They're not messaging me back. So that's the only place I can leave it. And that's not even it's not even the worst of this story. The worst of this story, last screenshot. Here we go, right here. There's my payout. Thank you very much. 0 tipping customer. $4.50 from DoorDash and a dollar boost, aka Peak Pay. And there's my tip right there from the customer. Maybe I should have left the order even further back away from the gate than I did. Maybe I should have set it in the middle of West Broad Street if I knew there was going to be a 0 tip on that. I'm just messing around. I'd never do something like that, folks. I'm always going to do the best I can on these orders. Whether there's a tip or not. There you see in the background there, of course, today was my the $200 challenge, and this was order number 1 of the 20 that I needed to get the challenge. But just of all days to have this bad of a start to it. I was looking forward to today. That found out yesterday about this $200 challenge, and I was all geared up and ready to go and anxious. I log in. I have to wait and wait and wait for an offer. I have to drop my first order, then I get another order, and then mess with all this. And not a great start, to say the least. But I recovered and would do 10 more deliveries after this one today. And I got 11 and now need 9 tomorrow. So I was able to recover. But yeah, this is one of, if not the worst starts to a dash that I can remember. But anyway, that's all I have for now, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.